Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Abhishek. Thank you so much for joining Sid Ahmed Live, graduating during a pandemic. For tonight's show, we will be having a question and answer session at the end. So please submit whatever questions you may have on this webinar on all of Sid Ahmed's social media handles on LinkedIn, Instagram, Twitter, and we'll make sure that it gets answered. Now, guys, before we start the webinar, we have a fun activity lined up for all of you. So all you have to do is answer 10 simple questions that are on Sid's Instagram story right now. There will be a few select winners who can answer them within the next 2 minutes, you guys, within the next 2 minutes, and your time starts now. So for those of you who don't know Sid's Instagram, I'm going to tell you his handle right now. You'll find it on your chat. Please go. You'll see on his Instagram story, there will be 10 questions. Answer them as quickly as possible. And hopefully, by the end of the show, you get selected to be a winner. I can see the questions are already up. And these are easy questions, you guys. These aren't hard questions, so don't worry. There should be definitely a lot of winners if you guys can jump on the phone fast enough. We have 1 minute to go. There's going to be a gift hamper, by the way. We'll figure out how to get the gift hamper to you during this pandemic. But please go to Sid Vidart on Instagram, and there'll be a lot of giveaways you definitely don't want to miss out. For those of you who are just joining in, I'm going to put it in the chat again. Go to Instagram at Sid Vidart and answer the questions in the story. And there will be a lot of giveaways, gift hampers. You guys got to get engaged. This is going to be really, really cool once you get your name heard out at the end of the show. 30 seconds to go. If you haven't done it, do so already. I'm sending it all to you in chat right now. So if you don't have the handle, this is the time. 20 seconds remaining. And I can see there's still a lot of people joining in. Hopefully you guys can see the chat. And if you haven't followed Sid on Instagram already, please do so. It's at SIDVDART, Sid Vidart. It's in the chat. 10 seconds to go. There's lots of giveaways coming your way, you guys. You definitely don't want to miss this. And the questions are fun. It's not math or science questions. These are very easy questions. You guys will love it. All right. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, so if you guys haven't answered it, please go answer it. You guys will still have time. Whoever was able to answer all the questions fast enough, we'll definitely give them a shout out on the show. So, ladies and gentlemen, inspiring young talent globally, recognizing dreamers and empowering them to dream bigger, changing the trajectory of people's lives in every conversation with a mission to touch every student and inspire them that anything is possible. With a mission to infuse the spirit of entrepreneurship, skills required to succeed in the business world, providing you with unmatched direct access with him, passion to say untold stories to inspire and promote entrepreneurship. That is our mission. That is our core beliefs. Coming to you live from Atlanta, Georgia, United States, I present to you Sid Ahmed.
Hello and a very good evening and good morning to all the folks who have joined from several parts of the world. I exist to inspire people around me so they can go on to inspire people around them to achieve their fullest potential. I am Sid Ahmed, President and CEO of VDOR Group. Thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you so much. I really can't appreciate enough. Thank you for giving me the opportunity to do what I love the most. Thank you for extending your time and intentionality on being here to progress or make a progression in your career. Thank you so much. Today, what we're going to be talking about is some amazing discussions and many stories around taking paddles in terms of my personal life and my professional life the entrepreneurial journey, and how is it that can apply to students. That's what we're going to be talking about. But before we get started, most important, all right, I want you to grab a quick pen and paper, something which is very, very important, because we're going to do some exercises as well, some routines while we're going to do this event. So just make sure that you grab a pen and paper, or if you have a notepad or you're doing it on your computer, you could do that as well. So most important thing I would like you to start off with is whatever is your dream, what you want to achieve in your life, in your personal life, in your professional life, write it down now, all right? In your notepad, in your paper, wherever you are sitting, just write it down right now, all right? And gaze at it, read that every day, and see how it happens and how it turns into a reality. And one day you are going to call me back or post stating that indeed my dream is a reality. I want you to do that exercise right now. All right. The other thing is, while we are going to do this webinar, we're going to ask a series of questions. So there are lots of giveaways. So pay attention. I know I'm not watching you. It's when I'm doing live sessions, I'm watching you, I'm asking you questions, but I'm not doing that today. So there are our teams are monitoring that. So make sure that you are responding to our questions. So we want to see how engaged you are. Right. The other thing is, go to our website. On our website, there is something which is called as Join Our Community. Join Our Community, it's a movement. What we want to touch every student out there and provide the extended help what we can. So join our community on our website. When you go to our website, click on the Take Action tab. You'll be able to join our social communities. You will be able to subscribe to our links as well. Just go ahead and subscribe to the link to get regular updates on various different events which are happening globally, and you could play an important part in that particular event. All right. So today, what we are going to be talking about is graduating during a pandemic. So I will start off with my 3 favorite quotes. Several of you who have attended my previous sessions, you must have heard these quotes, but I can't start a presentation without these quotes. You can get everything in life what you want if you just help as many other people get what they want in life. That's by Zig. The second quote is by Peter Diamandis. The best way to become a billionaire, the easiest way to become a billionaire is to help a billion people. How powerful is that? How powerful is that? All right, and the last one is from Pablo Picasso. The meaning of life is to find your gift. I found my gift. The purpose in life is to give it away. Just give away a gift. All right, so with that, I will start off with this story, the first one. So lots of stories coming your way. So the first story, beautiful sunrise this morning. I'm a runner, just love running early in the morning and want to see the sun coming out. And it just gives me the amazing energy out there. So this morning I ran and just took this picture. Then I wanted to see, hey, what is it that I'm going to talk to my audience about? The earth has existed, this earth where we live on has existed for billions of years. The sun has risen always. If you ask me a question, is the sun going to rise tomorrow? You all know the answer as well. It is going to rise. Nothing is going to change. It is going to rise. It will rise tomorrow. The earth will continue to exist. So this is not the end of the world. I know we are in a deep state of pandemic at this point in time, deep state of a pandemic at this point in time, but you don't need to be worked up. Yes, there is anxiety, there is stress, but the sun is going to rise. The earth is going to be there. Things are going to move on. All right. And the other important thing is I was asking my daughter. My daughter is in her senior she's in her final year at Wake Forest University, and I was asking her because she's going through the same problem. Because you're all the audience. What I have here are all students. Either you are in your first year, second year, third year, or fourth final year. I was asking her, hey, I'm going to talk to a whole bunch of amazing audience, and what do you think? So she said, and I asked her this question: what is it that you love about the pandemic? Not is it what is difficult? What is it that you love about the pandemic? She said, I've started appreciating life better. I've started seeing things. I've never ever taken a walk with the intention of seeing nature, with the intention of just looking things around. And today, I just enjoy and love my walks, looking at things around. And generally, in a fast paced world, we are so worked up. So, stillness is the key. Take a step back, slow down. You are not alone. The whole world, every individual, you, me, our company, our people, everybody in the world has been impacted. Everyone. So, you are not alone. There's a lot of help available, right? And the only thing what you want to think about is, okay, let me slow down. It's all right. It's all right to slow down. In a fast-paced world, when you're talking about, this is a fast-paced world, right? Everybody walking around, everybody in the rush of lives. When you take a look at this picture, the pandemic has been there. So as soon as I'll just take a quick. I'll take you back for about like 6 months. I'll track back to about 4 or 6 months when I was in India and we were doing the Journey of Awesomeness. That's the tour what we were doing, predominantly in Trichy and Bangalore and several colleges and institutions. And in one of the pitches, when I was talking to the students, I was talking and making fun about Corona, and we were talking about what is happening with Corona. Never did I realize that we will do a webinar specifically around this issue and how deeply it can impact our world, our communities, our people, our students. It is so much of uncertainty, right? Um, so with that being said, take a look at this picture. A pandemic, and I'm sure you would have heard about the Spanish flu with all the news nuggets and information nuggets which are coming through. We get to know what is happening in the world. The pandemic has been there about 100 years ago. So every 100 years, there is going to be a pandemic which is going to come. Will it come? Did the Spanish flu go away? Yes, it did. With the developments in science and technology at that point in time, it did go away. So is it going to go away now? Coronavirus? Of course it is going to go away. But if you ask me the question when, I'm not Anthony Fauci. So I don't know the answer. But it is for sure, there are two things which I know for sure, and I can guarantee the sun will rise tomorrow and coronavirus will go away tomorrow. Not tomorrow. So at some point in time, it's going to go away. All right. So with that being said, here's what I want you to really, before we get into the next segment, this is what I want you to think about. All right. Each and every one of us in this, the number of people who have tuned in from several parts of the world, we are a miracle to be alive. I want you to think, I want you to take a moment to soak it in. We are a miracle to be born at the first place. First of all, we are all the lucky ones who are alive to be on this particular conversation. The most important thing is we are a miracle to be born at the first place. The chances of we being born as a human being is 1 in 400 trillion. Imagine that. 1 in 400 trillion. And this is a proven example. The example or an analogy is, if you know about the life vest, right, which they throw from a boat if somebody falls into the water. You throw a life vest, all right, into the ocean, and you say, I know there is one particular turtle which is going to catch that life vest, and that turtle is sitting somewhere. If that turtle gets to that, it is 1 in 700 trillion. So the chances of we being born is 1 in 400 trillion. So how much do we have to appreciate as a miracle? So enjoy you being a miracle and enjoy just being alive. Don't get too anxious about it. We'll talk how are we going to overcome that, of course. Here is a great story about anxiousness, uncertainty. So who's this gentleman? This is Nad Friedman. Who's Nad Friedman? Nad Friedman is the CEO of GitHub. A lot of you would know what is GitHub. And what you see, this is called as the Arctic World Archive in Svalbard. Svalbard is a place which is near it's the northernmost part of the so before the last part of the civilization before North Pole, and it's a region which borders Norwegia and Russia, the coldest part. There were lots of coal mines out there. All those coal mines gone. Right now, what they have is called as the Arctic World Archive. This is created specifically if the world is going to get into a pandemic situation, and there is nobody going to exist in this world. Say everybody goes away from this world, all human beings gets erased, and then there's new generation of human beings get are born, then at that point in time, they will figure out it's a time capsule to have plans, seeds, all of the kind of information. So Nat Friedman goes, and there are lots of technology companies who are doing that as well. So because GitHub is open source, he goes and he has placed all of the open source code, the elements of open source code in the vault out there, so that when the next generation of human beings which come up at some point in time, if the world gets destroyed by nuclear apocalypse or a pandemic, people will be able to find that, and then life could move on. So he is thinking about the future, and the whole world is thinking about the future. World leaders are thinking about the future, and they created this vault. The irony is, when Nat goes to place this in the vault, the GitHub source code, then it happens that there was a California wildfire. His house completely burns down in California, in Sonoma County. How ironical. You are thinking about the future and your current is burned down. So what is the lesson which is out of that is we got to prepare for today and we got to prepare for the future. A future which could be very, very different than what we are thinking, or it may be the same. Because if you see the previous picture, the Spanish flu was there, but life continued, right? So we do not know, but we got to do our best to prepare for that. With that comes in break time. So what we are going to do is I'll let Avi take over. We are going to have a quick poll and then jump right back in. All right, Avi, over to you.
Hey, Sid. So what poll would you like to launch out for everybody?
The first poll which I would like to launch is about how did they get to know about this particular event? Let's do that.
All right, so let's launch it right now. So guys, in front of you, you should see a poll that has popped up. Please take a minute to answer it. Once you guys have answered, we will publish the results. And Sid, I already see the answers are flooding in.
Awesome.
I also see there's a lot of questions coming in that they want to ask regarding career advice and interviewing. So please continue
Super.
sending in your questions. We will definitely get them answered at the end. All right, we're just gonna give it 15 more seconds, you guys. We're almost there. All right, in 3, 2, 1. All right, so why don't we see the results, Sid?
Awesome. All right. How do we go about seeing the results? Share the poll
I just shared
results.
it. Are you able to see?
Okay, you would have to tell me how to
So,
go about doing the poll results. All right.
so what I see here, we have 12% saying
Yes,
that
I
they
do. Yes, go ahead, Avi. You can go ahead.
yeah, we have 12% of all attendees saying they've heard it from social media. 7% got it from direct mail. The largest Sid was 70% that their college told them about this event. And
Awesome.
then 10% of them heard it from a friend. So it's
Awesome.
friends sharing it with friends.
Fantastic, fantastic. Thank you. Thank you so much for participating in this poll. What it showcases me, is first of all, give it up for your colleges. Make sure that you go and for your college to be intentional about showcasing this particular information, asking you to join in this particular webinar, and you having some key takeaways. It is so important for institutions to do that. I really appreciate you go ahead and put a shout out for your institution. It is so important that we do that. Now, before we get into the story, my story about Trichy to Atlanta. So we're going to have very, very interesting takeaways. This particular segment, we are going to be talking about what is the journey, what I've had, and then we are going to take those parallels when it comes to what are the challenges, what the students are going through. So let me quickly start in terms of my story from Trichy. I was born and brought up in Trichy, raised in Trichy. Trichy is a small college town. That's where I'm from. It's primarily an educational hub, close to about 140 educational institutions. Born and raised in a family where I was the sixth one in the family, 6 siblings. My mom and dad. Mom was a housemaker. Dad had done several jobs, from a farmer to a driver to a iron scrap. merchant kind of thing, small thing, and he couldn't get a job at all in Trichy because Trichy has never been a place where you actually get jobs. So I was always raised by my mom, so it's more like a single parenting kind of situation. But there was a burning desire to be always be having to grow up with mom and dad. And as a result of which we had this big ambition, I had this big ambition that when I do something in Trichy, I want to create an opportunity where people can live and work in Trichy. So as a result of that, this is about what is the burning desire what I had. But the most important thing is growing up, we never had the means. My parents did not have the means to make ends meet. They had very difficult, rock solid adversity, lots of adversity where children cannot get meals for 3 times a day. All right, those kind of situations. I still remember going with my mom to wash our clothes in a river. I remember my mom working in other houses, etc. Those kind of things. My mom making kites, my grandmom making kites and selling kites. So those are the kind of stories what I had grown up with. But most importantly, my mom and dad, they decided that they will give me the gift of education, and I'm the only child to ever go to an English medium school. So that's the reason why you see my English is okay, not that great. It's okay, right? But they put me in one of the best schools here in Trichy. I was so fortunate that I was able to go to Campion and Vestry. My mom still today says, you know, how you treated me so bad when you were a kid because you said you will never go to school unless and until you put me in Campion. But I was so fortunate that my mom and dad invested in me, the gift of education. So I want you to go back and thank your parents and say, thank you for giving me the gift of education. It is so important and so powerful. With that being said, I continued to study in Trichy completed my 12th grade, and my grades were not great. I was good in sports, but my grades were not great. So as a result of which, I could not get an engineering um, admission in Trichy because I never knew that the minimum cutoff is 60%. So I had to go to Bangalore. I studied in Bangalore. My great, amazing alums who have joined from Gaussian College of Engineering as well. I studied there. And the interesting part was I was never interested in engineering. It was just forceful decision. I had to go there and I just joined. My interest was to become a doctor. But anyways, long story short, what happens is I go to do this engineering. My 4-year degree is done. People are waiting. When is my son going to come back? When is my brother going to come back and do something amazing? And I never come back for 7 years. They are thinking that I'm doing a PhD. But the best part, what I did was I completed my 4-year degree in a record time of 7 years. All right. Thank you. I know that you're all smiling, but that's all right. So that's what happened. And what it's as a result of which, long story short, after that, the day one I came back. This is called as day one hiring, right? You are all looking for day one hires, the day one who's going to come on the campus. Is it one of the large companies who comes in day one campus and I should get hired with a person? And I complete my degree in 7 years, 4 years. College is done. I go back to Trichy. I don't have a degree. I have to get a job because my parents, my mom, my dad passed away at 20. So it's my mom, my brothers, and I have to earn money to run the family. For 1,200 rupees, the first job, I knew that I was good in sales. I had to figure out an opportunity where I wanted to be in sales. Flipped the newspaper, got the day one I came to Trichy, right after college. Flipped the newspaper, saw a marketing executive, took up, went for the interview, got the job. That I call as a day one job. All right. So if people call me, hey, what's amazing degree what you have? I have a PhD, which is poor, hungry, and driven. If you are poor, hungry, and driven, you will get day one opportunities. Anyways, so that happened. Worked in India for about 3 years, and then I moved to the US. Spent my career in recruiting and sales. As a result of which, in 2007, I went ahead and started this firm, founded this firm, VDART. First 1.5 years, right? Working from my apartment, just as a single employee, grew that to a 100 people team, then started offices. Now, all of the good stuff, good things happen. Now, the most important part of the journey is hunkering down and trying to, when I wanted to start the business, I never twice thought, you know what, am I going to have all these material possessions, house, cars, sell off everything, get with the family into an apartment and get started. Now, this is what I wanted to show you. That's my first table, my first table which I bought for my office in the apartment. I bought it from my neighbor for $4. That's a plastic chair which I bought for $2. And that's my laptop Sony Vaio, which I ordered for the very first time. This is my first team which I put together in Trichy because we wanted, there was a purpose behind it. We wanted to create opportunities for people in Trichy. All right. So that team took us in a huge journey, an awesome journey. And that's the reason why I call it as a journey of awesomeness, which is the other show, what we do. So that team has taken us to Times Square. That team has taken us cover pages of various different magazines like Diversity Plus, MBE. That team has led to being us being on Delta's website. That team has led us, has given me the opportunity to become Entrepreneur of the Year, one of the most prestigious business awards. And for me, and I want you to think about it, a small town in Trichy, a person comes and competes in the US geography with so many people of color and various different aspects, so many technology companies, we could still make a difference and win that opportunity. How powerful is that story, right? So, and now this is the team what we have, which is close to about 450 people. This is the team what we have, which is based out of Trichy, a journey which we started about 13 years ago. Now, this team, which led, we started off with VDOT's 10-year journey. Now we have gone through a brand evolution journey. VDOT's logo has changed. So you have VDOT, VDOT BPM, VDOT Digital. There are 3 different companies. And then there is VValidate, there is product development, there is Vouch. There is tons of opportunities for people, not just technology people. You could be in sales, marketing, finance, HR, whatever it is. We have opportunities, what we have been able to create as a result of that single idea which stemmed from a burning desire. And this is a team which has made it happen. Now, I wanted to quickly talk about what are the key skills acquired during this journey. All right. First thing is adversity quotient. People talk about AQ, IQ, and EQ, intelligence quotients, all of the very emotional quotients. I believe adversity quotients. If you go through adversity, why this people who are listening to me right now, and the people who are going to be graduating in 2020 and 2021 will have a strong adversity quotient, and you will have better chances of getting hired, is because you are being challenged right now. It's not like the previous batches. You are thinking hard, how can I get that opportunity? How can I be different? And you're taking steps. And one of the most important things is you joining this webinar itself means that you are absolutely intentional. So you're going through adversity. What is adversity? Adversity is the challenges what you're going through. When you go through challenges, you continue to evolve. You come up with new ideas, a burning desire. These are the things what I learned through my journey, and I'm highlighting a burning desire, a desire to be very successful. When you're seeing other people doing well, I can do that. A strong purpose. It's never about the money. It's about the purpose. How am I going to influence? How am I going to impact? How am I going to create opportunities for people? That goes back to the Ziegler's quote. How can I create opportunities for people? If you just help as many other people what they want in life, you will get everything what you want in life. Have that as a purpose, a brave heart. If you want to be an entrepreneur, all right, if you want to do something new, this is a time. Try new things. There is a lot of time available. Be a brave heart. Take a swing. Jump in. Do something on your own. The reason why I say do something on your own is because I was able to do something on my own, I'm able to create opportunities. I'm able to think about various different things, what I can do. If I take a corporate job, and not that I'm asking everybody to do that, but I am just saying, if I had an opportunity, I could go create opportunities for other people. Contagiously positive, being a big, broad smile and just being contagiously positive, having a positive outlook. What is a positive outlook? This too shall pass. This is going to go away. Yes? Poll time. Let's get in. Avi, let's jump in. Let's take a quick break and we will get Avi to do the poll time before we jump into the meat of the topic. Avi, over to you.
Thanks, Sid. Which specific poll would you like me to launch?
Okay, let us get into, I would like you to launch about, hold on. You can go ahead and launch.
How about what if we find out if anybody has attended any previous event of yours?
Absolutely. Let's go ahead. Let's go ahead.
Let us know about the crowd. All right, guys, I am launching a poll right now. Have you attended any event Sid has presented in the past? We're going to take a minute to answer this. Wow, people are very fast on their computers, Sid.
Super, super.
Also, loving the questions I'm getting. There's a lot of profound questions, Sid. Even I would like to truly understand the answers to some of them.
Certainly, certainly.
Please continue sending more questions. And I love how the topics are, they're in various different worlds. So please, if you don't be shy about asking a question, it doesn't have to be business related. Even if it's a life
Yep.
question, you can send it.
Absolutely, absolutely. The key is asking questions. What I see consistently. Go ahead and keep taking your poll, but I just want to let you know, be vocal. One of the biggest challenges what I see is people not share. I get tons of questions on LinkedIn about careers. I wanted to say specifically Shankara from BIM, okay, had posed a very important question. Give a shout out to him. And Shankara, I will respond to your question. We are coming up there, okay? As you share all your questions, in case if we run out of time, don't worry. We will host another session just for Q&A. We will do this again. That's not a problem. Or we will respond to your question. But make sure you're vocal, you're asking the questions on LinkedIn or Instagram. I see a lot of people do not want to post directly on Instagram. You want to send only a DM. Go ahead and be vocal, because your answers, when you write a question, there's a lot of other people in the community who are learning from you. So step up, be open, post your questions. Makes a lot of difference in people's lives.
All right, Sid, I am sharing the results right now of the poll. So it seems 21% of all attendees have seen you in the past, Sid, and 79% of all attendees are hearing and seeing you for the first time.
Awesome. So we have existing audience and we have new audience. Thank you so much for the people who I have already spoken to, and thank you for joining. Thank you for your loyalty. I really, really appreciate it. And to all those people who are joining for the first time, you are special, all of you. Okay, you're special, you're unique, you're destined for greatness. You are absolutely going to love this content. Okay, and any content which is going to help you on this particular platform. All right, let's go ahead and jump right into the next segment. Avi, are we ready?
Yes, Sid, we are. Is this a Q&A?
Awesome. Nope. I am
Oh,
going to go ahead and quickly jump into the Q&A. We are going to, okay, Avi, what is the time what we have? We'll complete this in 10 minutes and then we'll leave 20 minutes for Q&A. Would that be good?
I think that's a plan.
Awesome. All right, let's go. So challenges students are undergoing. This is based on data what we have collected. Currently, what we do, we have close to about 2,500 people globally. On an annual basis, we interview anywhere around 15 to 20,000 students, people, for our own employment opportunities and for our customers. During this pandemic, these are some of the things what we unearthed. Graduation. You're concerned about graduation, you're concerned about jobs, you're concerned about internships, you're concerned about your personal space. I've seen my own team, right? They're working from home in India, and there are 4 or 5 people living, and there is privacy invasion. There's mental health issues around how do I cope up with mental health, and there is abuse. In this webinar, what are we going to cover? There are 3 major topics, 3 quick topics what we are going to cover, which is on graduation, jobs, and internships. And you can direct any question to us, all right? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take parallels from my personal and business life, and I'm going to talk to you quickly on these points, all right? So graduation, what are the top concerns? Let me just first rattle this off so that it sinks in with you and you're thinking, are these some of the concerns what I have? Will I graduate with good grades? Will I be able to cope up with my online classes? How will my employers evaluate my online degree, right? Will I get a job? I'm having a tough time with online classes. What happens if I don't get good grades? How is the job market going to be when I graduate? I'm ready to answer all of these questions. But before that, I just want to tell you a quick story around one of the questions. What happens if I don't get good grades? Imagine this. A person who is standing in front of you, completes his degree after 7 years, all of his math M1. So if you're all engineers, a lot of engineers will be able to reflect this. M1, M2, M3, M4. Math 1, Math 2, Math 3, Math 4. All of the four. I got exactly 35. The last paper which I had to clear was M1 after 7 years, with after doing 13 attempts. That is how poor I'm in math. I want you to be inspired. I want you to think, do grades really matter? It doesn't matter. I want to take a professional experience and I want to talk to you. At VDART, as an organization, today we have products, services, various different things what we do, close to about 5 different companies. The first thing I spoke to our transformation officer, his name is Oliver Sam, and I called him just about a couple of days ago, and I heard this from one of the feedback from an employee stating that the HR team was still chasing for his degree certificate and things like that. I said, why do we have to look for degrees at all? Top companies today have abolished degrees. It is about the passion. It's about the subject matter expertise, what you have. So I'm not actually diluting the effort of the degree by itself. But what I'm saying is degree is only a certain percentage of what you actually can bring to the table. When I interview a candidate, the most important thing, what I'm seeing is, are you a PhD? Are you poor, hungry, driven? Are you humble? Are you going to hustle? Do you have a great attitude? Do you come up with, are you positively contagious? Are you filled with energy? If you have that, hire the athlete and train the sport. All we want is those particular attributes. So first thing, start working on that. And I want you to be inspired. That don't worry about it. Grades can only take you this far. Schools can only take you that far. But there is above and beyond that. So will I graduate with good grades? Of course you're going to graduate with good grades. Even if you don't graduate with good grades, don't care. Work on your attitude, work on your hustling ability, work on being a contributor, a great leader, a person who can communicate well. Majority of the times, right, in an interview, we select a candidate based on the attitude, communication skills. We'll figure out later, how is it that we are going to fit them in? Will I be able to cope up with online classes? I know a lot of people may not have challenges, may not have challenges with online classes. Some people are not adept at using their computers, or people are so focused on instructor-led training. So is it a possibility? You can learn one step at a time. This is a challenging time and you have to do it. There is no other go. Online classes are going to be difficult. Why? In India, majority of them do correspondence courses. Is that not a problem? It's a perspective. How will my employers evaluate my online degree? There is no difference between an online degree or a regular degree. So you are just going to be fine whether you do an online degree or will you get a job. If you have the intention that you want to get a job, there is nobody who's going to stop you. You are the only one who is stopping you from getting a job. Anybody can get a job. And I will give you all the tools which are required. You do the A, B, C following things, you will definitely get a job. I'm having a tough time with online classes. Learning math is tough. Learning anything is tough, right? These are some of the things. How is the job market going to be when I graduate? The job market is just going to be amazing. Don't worry about it. There is lots of opportunities. You've seen the world opening up. In the US, we dropped down to 45 million unemployment. Unemployment rate is 45 million. People were laid off. As soon as the pandemic, the US removed the lockdown, right? It is catching up. We have covered halfway through. So don't worry about it. The opportunities are there and it is not going anywhere. All right, Avi, let's take the next poll quickly. Break time before we get into the next top concern.
All right, Sid. Which poll would you like to do now?
You are the best. Choose which poll you want to go with.
All right. Well, why don't we find out, since everyone's been asking about your Instagram, why don't we do the question of have you reached out directly to Sid through social media?
Yep, absolutely. Great question. Please go ahead.
Right now. And Sid, with the amount of questions we're having, I think we might be going over by 10, 15 minutes on the webinar.
That should be just perfect as long as people are going to be hanging around. That'll be awesome. So many a times the webinar in a webinar, people start dropping off during a webinar. If there is an engaging conversation, if people are not dropping off, let's go ahead and continue. I would love to invest my time, do what it takes.
Awesome. All right, guys, 15 seconds to go. And 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right, Sid. So 23% of the attendees have reached out to you directly, and the 77% have not.
Awesome. To all those 23 people, 23% of the people who have reached out to me, I know for a fact I mentioned this, all right? When you connect on LinkedIn, you can connect with me on LinkedIn or Instagram. When you connect on LinkedIn, write a personal note in terms of how did you encounter it. It's not just with me, with anybody. This is the most important tip in your professional career, right? If you are not on LinkedIn, first and foremost, because you are a student, you have to create a LinkedIn profile. Resumes are going to be gone very soon. Create a LinkedIn profile, send a request, and anytime when you send a request, the chances of your LinkedIn request getting accepted, it goes significantly higher when you write a personal note. And I would have said to those 23% of the people, thank you so much for sending that LinkedIn invite. I would have responded. If I have not responded, I'm pretty positive I would have responded. If I have not responded, send a reminder again stating that, Sid, you mentioned on this webinar, you asked me to remind. So to all the rest of the 70 people, make sure you follow our social handles, and I want you to send me a LinkedIn invite with a note stating that you attended this particular session and what did you like about this particular session. All right. Thank you so much. Thank you. Let's quickly jump into the next set of top jobs concern. What is the next top concern about jobs? All right. How is the job market going to be? Will I get a job in this job market? I was offered, and my offer has been retracted or rescinded. What should I do? Should I take any role which comes on my way? This was, I think, close to Shankar's question. If I do not get a job offer, what should I do? What kind of jobs should I be looking for? Where should I be looking for jobs? Where should I be looking for jobs? What kind of companies should I be looking for jobs? This is a very intensive topic, and I would probably take, okay, just a couple of minutes to quickly give you a few of my stories, my personal stories, and my professional stories as well. So, should I take a role which comes my way, or should I wait? So, here's how my perspective is. I want you to take the nuggets from it. It is important that you need to get a job, irrespective of what it is, as long as you like doing it. While you are chasing for the dream job, you want to do this particular job. Every experience counts. Every experience is going to give a perspective. Just go latch on to any opportunity. The question is, I have a great degree. I'm an expert in marketing, but I'm getting a job in finance. Should I take it? The person, the individual who is offering you that job in finance has seen some unique ability in you. Go taste that experience, jump into it. At a later time in your career, your first 3-4 years, when you are 10 years, so when I review a resume, when you're 10 years experience, I don't even count what your first 3 years are. I don't even see what those 3 years are. It doesn't really matter to me. What matters to me is the meat, which is in the last 5 years, 3 years, 2 years. What have you done? In technology jobs, I wouldn't rattle about technology jobs. In technology jobs, right? Majority of the technologies are fairly new. When you talk about Kubernetes has been there only for 2-3 years. How can you experience? So I'm going to look only at 2-3 years of experience. So it is so important. All right. What kind of jobs should I be looking for? Anything where you feel your heart is. What are you passionate about? What do you love doing? That's the most important thing. I want you to question back. You may be an engineer, doctor, artist, finance, chemistry, major, English, this, that, and the other, whatever it is. But I want you to think, what is in your heart? I want to do social work. All right, go. You can do social work. I want to become an artist. I want to become an actor. Okay, yeah, of course. You may be an engineer, but go do acting. That is where your heart is. So you have to look at that. So where should I be looking for jobs? You have to look for jobs where those people are around. So if you're looking for a Bollywood job, you got to find an acting job. You have to be in Bollywood, right? If you're looking for uh, 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 any other, in the sense, in the film industry, you got to be around the film industry. If you're in technology jobs, you have to be around the technology industry. Look at people. Where should I be looking for jobs? Not on job portals. Job portals, Naukri, Monster, you can send tons of resumes to people. You will not get a response. Where you should be is, you should be looking at Instagram, Facebook, social media. Look at where, if you are, if for example, if you're looking at a particular industry and you are chasing a particular opportunity, look at where that particular individual is. Follow them, ask for mentorship, ask questions. Your intentionality, asking questions, makes a huge difference about your curiosity. When you become curious, the person who's looking at it sees, oh man, this particular individual is curious. Let me go ahead and respond. Several people in this particular audience, I would have responded in a DM, right? I wanted to give you a quick story. A very, very important project, what we put together right now. I recruited all my talent on Instagram. People who responded to me on Instagram, I picked up most of them from that particular opportunity. I did not go to my recruiting team. I did not go here, there, or anything, anywhere else. So you want to chase social channels, followers out there. That is where you will get the response. You send a resume on Naukri, it just goes to a recruiter, nothing happens. All right. What other story would I want to tell you? I think we are good. We are good with this particular topic. Avi, let's go jump right into the next poll. Hey, before.
All right,
Yeah,
Sid.
Avi, go ahead. Yep.
So the next poll we're gonna do, and I think this will help for a lot of the questions that are coming in, is have you subscribed to sidahmed.com to receive tips? And we're gonna launch it now.
While you're doing all of this, right, I just wanted to quickly highlight a couple of things. All right. Where should I look for jobs? This is a gig economy. Work is going to be done from anywhere and everywhere where you want. Okay. So go to upwork.com. You can stay at home and you can look for opportunities. You can work, there are tons and tons of opportunities working from home. What is a gig economy? And specifically with the pandemic happening, a lot of people are working from home. So if you have to work from home, there is opportunities available through Upworks and various different platforms. So go search for opportunities through those channels. All right. Now, coming to what kind of industries, in terms of opportunity. So are we done with this particular poll?
We are done with the poll, Sid. I'm closing it right now.
Okay.
And it seems like 34% of the attendees have registered on your website, and 66% have not yet.
Okay, perfect. So to all those people who have not registered, thank you to all those audience who've already registered. Make sure that you click the subscribe link so that you can get the news nuggets and all of that kind of stuff. To all those people who haven't registered, go to the site right now, click on the events tab, take action tab, join the community, join the subscribe link. All right, let's jump right into internships, and we'll cover this quickly and jump into Q&A. Should I consider internships? Absolutely, you should consider internships. What kind of internships should I look for? How many internships should I do? Should I do internships when my college commences? Where should I look for internships? Considering paid versus unpaid internship. Should I take internship which comes my way? What kind of companies should I look for internships? These are all questions which we will answer. I will answer right now. I just wanted to cover one quick story on this, all right? In terms of paid versus unpaid internship. Right now is an opportunity for you to prove yourself, whether it is paid or unpaid. Just go ahead and take the opportunity. Take an internship and do what it takes. All right. Just go ahead. So when people say, I don't have an opportunity, an employer says, I don't have an opportunity. They interviewed you, they gave you an offer, and they've taken back your offer. Go back and tell them, I'll be ready to work for you for free. Do that. That is intentionality. And it's going to change the entire ballgame. Right? Should I take, how many internships should I do? Do as many internships as you can. I'm in college and my courses are on. Do I do an internship? Of course you should do an internship. What a huge influence it is going to have in your resume and future opportunities to come. Where should I look for opportunities? Your neighbor, your friend, your mom, your dad, your grocery store guy. Internships are everywhere. Why do you do internships? You are learning the trade. Go do an internship. Right now, I want this entire audience to go do a free internship if you're not doing anything. And internships are available even online. You can do this. Everything is online available. All right. We can talk further about it. Here is a very interesting. So I just spoke to you about a particular. I hired a bunch of people on Instagram, right? How did I go about doing this? This is so. Are there opportunities available right now? Yes, there are opportunities. There are companies who are doing well during COVID as well. We as an organization, we have never let go or laid off a single employee in our global place. Over 2,500 people globally did not let go anybody. For the first time, we hired completely 100 people in March and April, completely remotely, in the sense virtually trained them and virtually deployed them to work in our workforce. Added 100 people. We currently are working with close to about 40 interns globally. The most important from this entire episode, from this entire pandemic, we came up with a new business model. And to influence or to execute this business model, we hired a great bunch of interns, and I hired this entire team who is doing sidahmed.com and who has been influential in bringing this webinar over to you, or this particular event over to you. I hired all of these folks from Instagram. So I just want to give a good big shout out to this entire talent which I hired from IIM and School and various. There is a bunch of talent which I've hired from School and IIM Trichy. But follow our social handles. There are tons of opportunities, and we will continue to recommend. With that, we can go into the next poll, and then we can go into Q&A.
All right, Sid. The last poll we're going to do is, do you need help with resume evaluations, career questions, job opportunities, or do you have any business ideas? And we're launching the poll now. And we're going to give this around a minute. Just a few more seconds. And Sid, so after this, I think we will go in with a closing video and open it up to Q&A.
Absolutely. Let's do that.
All right. I think I'm going to close the poll now. It seems a lot of people have answered very quickly. So Sid, 83% of the audience would definitely need help with resume evaluations and career questions.
Anytime. All right. So here's what you do. There are two ways to do this. One, you could post directly on Instagram. What is your career question? What is your, if you want to do a resume evaluation, you could send an email directly to me at Sid Ahmed. If you go to our website, you have my contact information, contact Sid, you can send out an email. Or if you want to connect on LinkedIn, you can connect with me on LinkedIn and share your profiles. Let me know, what is your career question? What's bothering you? How can we help you get to the next level? Absolutely, can do. So to all those people who haven't joined, please do. All right, and we'd be more than happy to help you out in any way possible. That's the industry which I've been in for 25 years. I know exactly how a resume needs to look at. What do you exactly need to do to win a job, and where do you win jobs?
All right. So Sid, I think with time permitting, could we just jump into the questions while everyone is still here? All right.
Absolutely.
So we got some fantastic questions. The first question that we have comes from Vinay Rao, which is, what are some etiquettes you should have in doing a virtual interview versus an in-person interview because of the pandemic?
Awesome. Excellent question. Most important, and this comes from Vinay Rao, is that right?
Yes.
Okay, Vinay, most importantly, what you got to do is, and this is for all the audience, when you're doing a virtual interview, it is important that you are dressed up well. not you've just got out of bed and you're sitting in front of the camera. Make sure that you are in front of the camera. Your employer or whoever is interviewing you is able to see you. If you are not able to hear something clearly, don't just assume that was this was the question asked. Just go ahead and let them know, yes, I did not hear this question. Could you please repeat that? Right? Make sure you join the video channel or the video call on time. All right. Make sure that your signal is good, because a lot of people think that you're lip syncing. Let's not do that. If you're a technologist or a non-technologist, whatever it is, make sure that you are clearly articulating that. Take a moment, most importantly, during the pandemic, take a moment to ask that individual, whoever is going to interview you, thank that individual. First of all, thank you for extending this opportunity. And most importantly, how is your family? Because everybody is going through this. Everybody's going through this, right? So take your time to ask that particular individual how you're doing, how's your family. Those aspects is something what I'd really love for you to do. Most importantly, I would look for is good lighting, professional setup, good outfit what you're wearing, and show up on time. Hope that
All right.
helps.
All right, Sid. Our next question is from Purva. Purva is pursuing industrial engineering and is currently coming to the United States to do their master's, but wants to know, how do you overcome being too lazy or being a procrastinator?
Ah. Okay, Purva, the very interesting question. All right, this is something what everybody is challenged with, right? Everybody goes through that, but it's a habit. How do you get over a habit? You do it for 21 days and you're done. 21 days, you practice a particular aspect and you will be able to get rid of procrastination. So first and foremost, fundamentally, you have to be ready in your mindset that I am going to get rid of procrastination. So getting into a calendar, getting into a rigor and a schedule, it is so important. Routine is so important. And right now, especially around pandemic, routine is even more important. What happens is in a pandemic, in the first few months, right? How it was is, oh, there's nothing happening. I'm just sitting around doing nothing. Just watch TV news. Oh, they are talking. So many people died. So many people. So that's all we keep doing, and your mind is continuously wandering. You got to channelize your energy to say, put a calendar stating that I'm going to get up at 5 o'clock. 5 to 6 is my workout time. 6 to 7 is this time. 7 to 8 is this time. If you put a calendar, and most importantly, if you just go for a workout, you in the morning, or for a run, or for a walk for 30 minutes, if you break sweat, you're just going to crush your day. And that's the reason why I'm so hyper right now. All right, so you're just going to crush your day. Most importantly, I would say put a calendar, put a rigor around it, and follow that meticulously. And most importantly, talk to yourself. Talking to yourself is very, very important. Writing an affirmation stating that I don't want to procrastinate. Just write down this and repeat this 3 times in the day. As soon as you wake up and in the night, read the book. If you're fond of a book reader, Think and Grow Rich, Napoleon Hill. It's a great book, especially around affirmations, stating that, you know what, you write your affirmation. Your affirmation could be, I will never, ever procrastinate. I'm never going to be lazy. I will follow my rigor. I will follow my routine. Do this, write it down, read it 3 times in the morning, as soon as you brush your teeth or while you're brushing your teeth and when you go to bed. In 21 days, I want you to send me a LinkedIn invite stating that, or a direct message stating that you have been able to overcome. It is possible.
Awesome, Sid. Our next question is from Prethi. Prethi is 21 years old and is currently the CEO of a 60-employee textile business, and is kind of having a little bit of fears because Prethi thinks that being 21 is too young to be an entrepreneur, and is planning to do their MBA, and is wondering, is that a good idea?
Prati, what an awesome question, Prati. First of all, thank you so much for joining. Love young entrepreneurs. That's my sweet spot. I love to be around young entrepreneurs, try to give them some insights around what they can do. But first of all, congratulations. At 21 years, I don't know whether it is what do you call it, was your own startup or it was ancestral, like a family business which has been passed on to you. But if you've been able to do it on your own, congratulations. But if you are even taking your ancestral business, congratulations for being invested in taking the legacy to the next level. All right, that's very, very important. At 21 years to be a CEO, it's just amazing. All right, what I would recommend, My personal recommendation, there is lots of information which is available out there. If you have a learning mindset, because I see that you have a learning mindset, and that's the reason why you're saying that I want to go to an MBA program or you're doing your master's program. What I would recommend is, before you latch on to an MBA program, all right, whatever is the challenges what you have in your business. So if you're running a textile business, you have challenges in finance, marketing, HR, whatever. There are tons of podcasts available, tools available for entrepreneurs. You can listen to these podcasts and implement those in your company. Most importantly, there is no point in listening to the podcast and not implementing immediately in your company. If you have that desire that you can implement things quickly, just invest 1 year every day on listening to a podcast around an area where you have a challenge and go back and implement. In my personal opinion, you would never need to do an MBA after that. You can do that. All right. So I would ask you to give it a year to listen to podcasts and implement those. There are a lot of interns available. Think about it. You're 21-year-old. There are some amazing, and I don't know which place are you in, Trichy, Tirupur, where are you from, or Bangalore, wherever you are, right? There are lots of interns available. You are, the most important thing about an entrepreneur is surrounding yourself, or any leader is surrounding yourself with people who are better than you, right? Think about it. I come with literally zero experience. The kind of background what I have and the kind of degree what I have, but I have amazing minds around me. A whole bunch of IIM students, right? And I like being that way, that I feel that I don't know anything. And if you are in that space, and if you're able to use interns, so two takeaways: use interns, good interns who are going to really take your business to the next level. And the second thing is, and you will have learning moments from that and learn from podcasts, and then give it a year, and you can write to me stating that, hey, these we can work on actionable steps. These are the things what you're doing. And then in a year from now, because there's no rush. Today you learn if that doesn't work, you can always switch back to an MBA at a later point in time. Good.
Awesome, Sid.
Thank you.
So, Sid, this next question is from Cheryl. Cheryl is from BIM. And
Awesome.
Cheryl's question is the extra years that you did to complete your degree as a young kid, Sid, did you find those years to be years that were wasted, or were people still supporting you during that time?
Oh, what a great question. What the name again, please? Cheryl.
Cheryl.
Cheryl, and a big shout out for BIM. All right. Thank you so much for everything what BIM does, what IIM does, and other institutions do for us. But we have a great partnership with both these institutions, and you guys are doing just amazing work. All right. Fantastic question. All right. You really heard the webinar so well at this particular event. The day one, when I said I was a day one, I was not a day one hire by anyone, one of the top corporates. Day one, I got a job myself. All right. I got the job. For the next 3 years, I did not complete my degree, but I was doing a full-time job. What job was I doing? I was working in Brilliance Computer Center as a marketing executive. That's where I started selling computer curriculum. Today, I'm able to stand in front of you and do this webinar because I had that first job. What a great story. Because back in the day, in 1993, I used to go to St. Joseph's College, Holy Cross College, all the colleges in Trichy, and talk about computer. The next thing which is going to happen is computer education. So I had the experience of addressing hundreds of people, all right, hundreds of students back in the day. That is the experience which is actually helping me today, and it has helped me over my entire 25 years of career, because public speaking, the kind of level where I'm involved in public speaking and leading a team of people, and all of those kind of skills really helped me. All right. Again, those 3 years, I was so passionate in doing that because it was sales. I had to convince people, and my flair was sales. Although I knew I did a computer science degree, 4 years, I did not complete my degree yet. Knew zero code, could not code a single line, and then after that, after 3 years, I get into a different job where, again, I was so passionate about. So Avi, Cheryl's question, the first question is what I was doing, and what was the second part to it?
Her question was, when you were doing the extra years, did it feel like it was wasted, or were people still supporting you to finish it?
Okay. Oh, was it wasted? No, I do not think it was wasted. It has given me immense amount of experience. And while I'm so thankful for the first opportunity where they taught me how you need to evaluate data, right? Where how many people come in, how many people join the courses, how many people are not joining courses, what are the demographics? Those were reports what I learned. It was so curious that there was a lot of curiosity. So were people supportive? Nobody actually told me anything about completing a degree because nobody asked me. I was so good at my work. I know what to do, right? But my mom, and most importantly, I needed to have that job because I had to make a living for my family. I had to give that 1,200 rupees or 1,800 rupees, which I had to go back and give it to my family. Who was supportive in this entire journey, right? Towards the end, it came to a situation that I had to go to the US, and to the US, you can't go without a degree. Just because I had to go to the degree to the US, I had to go write my papers and complete it. So there was a driving factor. And most importantly was my brother who was saying, Sid, I know without a degree, it has taken you this far, but you need to have a degree. And he was so right, because if I hadn't completed my degree at that point in time, I wouldn't have ever made it to US, which was my dream job. I hope I've answered your question. Is there any missing component, Avi, in that particular
No, I
question?
think you hit it, Sid. I think you very much hit it. This next
Thank you,
question
Cheryl.
comes from Nandini. Nandini would like to know what were some of the mistakes you did on your first interview?
Okay, awesome, Nandini. Oh, this is a great question, Nandini. All right. Um, this is so every in my entire career, there are I've done only what one. Okay, I've done like probably about 5 to 6 interviews, and there is one interview I did not get selected. All right. And that was not the first. That was the first. No, it's not, because day one I got this particular job. I was doing something else. So after getting my first career, you would have heard about these back in India. They used to have these selling plantation kind of thing, right? There used to be something like that. So there was one of this individual. He has seen me speaking at colleges and various different universities, great presentation skills, and he calls me. He said, "Hey, I'd like to talk to you." I said, and he was a very respected individual. So we set up a meeting. I went to his office, and this was about selling computer. So he moved to a plantation company, but the original interview was for computer hardware services and things like that. So I went in for the interview, and he asked me questions. I was answering, and I, in my opinion, I did well. And I was so at the end of the interview, while during the interview, right, to test the temperament of the individual, right? That was a great interview. He asked me this question: "Why are you moving your hands so vigorously, and you're so excited, and what's wrong with you?" I said, "Actions speak louder than words, and that's the way I am. I am filled with energy." He said, "I don't think you're a good fit for this role." He challenged me that, and he was trying to see my temperament. Immediately, there was a different expression what I put up, right? And he said, "I don't think you'll fit this job, son, but good luck. I'll definitely keep you in mind for other opportunities." What he was doing was, I could not control my the facial reactions, the way I came across with temper, right, back in the day, um, and arguing that I was right. That did not go well. So that's the biggest mistake what I did in my life. And from there onwards, I figured out, okay, that is written out here. There's okay, it's right here on my board. Stoic, being a stoic, wisdom, temperance, justice, and courage. Those are the 4 things what you want to focus on.
Very
Avi, did
nice.
I answer your question?
Yes, you did.
All
Sid,
right,
this
thanks.
next question is from Varshini. What is the one book, the most important book that has changed your life?
Oh, the most important book, that's a very, very easy question, Varshini. I don't know which college are you from, but thank you so much for asking that question. Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. That's my favorite. There's several other books. I'm an avid reader, but that's my favorite by far, because that completely changed my life, just because of the affirmations and how you can train your subconscious mind. How do you achieve success? That is a must recommend book for everybody in this audience. Thank you, Arshini.
Very nice. Quick question from Pravin. How many years did you live in Trichy before you moved out?
So
Altogether.
altogether. So I was born and brought up in Trichy. So 71 all the way to 93. So till 93, till 95, 90, yeah, 71 to 95. That's the time frame what I lived in Trichy, and my heart is for Trichy. I know in and out of Trichy. Now on the Tirchi Panye. Namma Tiruchi.
Let's see if the subtitles catch that. Um, Next
Avi,
question.
Avi, before you get to the next question, I just wanted to
Yeah,
remind to all the audience, you can take a screenshot of all our social handles, which are right here, Facebook, YouTube, LinkedIn. Make sure that you follow us on our social channels. I hope you are finding this session useful and instrumental. Avi, please go ahead.
yeah, this is a fun question, Sid. So this
Sure.
is coming from Shuvanesh. Shuvanesh says, I am also from Trichy and
Awesome.
wants to reach a position just like yourself, Sid. However, not in the world of IT, in the world of Bollywood. What must Shuvanesh do?
Sivanesh, you have to hire me as an actor as well. You have to give me an opportunity. You become a director, then I can join you. All right. But Vanakamana, super kelvi. You tell me what is it that you want. So it's a very interesting question, but fun question. Yes, you can do this in any field. எந்த field வேணாலும் நீங்க பண்ணலாம் இது. It's not a, it's you don't need to be in IT. நீங்க IT ல இருக்கணும்னு அவசியமே கிடையாது. Today, I'll give you a very important, Shivanesh, you asked a very important question. This is for everybody. Okay, a lot of people may not understand Tamil as well. So that's the reason why I'm speaking in English. The most important fact between January, January of 2020 to July of 2020, this is a fact. All right. In January of 2020, in the United States or globally, people could sit at home without going out and do a business as an individual can make up to $200,000. What is $200,000? 71 plus 71. Okay, 101.4 crores. Working from home. If you just put your mind doing your own business, whether it is online selling, whether this, that, whatever. In the last 6 months, it has gone from 200K to 400K. Right now, you can start a business from home and you can earn $450,000 if you're in the right space. Going back to Shivanesh's question, Shivanesh, if you want to do something in Bollywood and you want to do something in those lines, absolutely, there are billions of ideas. There are lots of ideas. Think about it. If you just start thinking, how could you start a social channel? Or think about a business model where you can do something in Bollywood and you can do it sitting right there in Trichy. There are possibilities. Okay, become a scout initially. Hire top models from Trichy, and how is it that you can take them to Bollywood? Figure out who are the biggest scouters in Bollywood, looking for top talent. By the way, majority of the Tamil actresses are from Tamil Nadu. The good-looking ones, all of them are from Tamil Nadu, right? Vanakkam.
All right, Sid. Sid, I'm going to go with two more questions
Sure.
before your closing statements. All right.
Yeah, sure.
This question comes from Pavitra. Pavitra is interested in learning plenty of languages, not just English. Pavitra wants to be multilingual and wants to know what are some resources she could use to get those skills.
Awesome. All right. Pavitra, great question. I don't know where Pavitra is from. So whenever you're, I think just to give a shout out to where you've joined from, it would be nice if you write like where you're joining from, which school do you go to, which college, which year, things like that. That'll be really helpful so that I can really give a good shout out to you folks. So Pavitra, great question. All right. One of the most important skills, what you need to have immediately, right? Your resume when you interview for a particular employer, even I say it's a very interesting question because the chances of you getting hired get significantly higher if you just know one additional language or a few additional languages. If you're just multilingual, मैं हिंदी में भी बात कर सकता हूँ, मैं तमिल में भी बात कर सकता हूँ, तमिल में पेशवे, मलयालम पेशवे. You can talk about any language, right? It just makes you, or 2 to 3 different languages, it makes a huge difference for employers. And specifically, there are opportunities around Portuguese, French, Spanish, Chinese, Japanese, or Mandarin, Japanese. So and I would recommend to all of you to learn one additional language. There are tons of opportunities in India for Portuguese speaking talent, for French speaking, Japanese speaking. All right. So how do you go about doing that? There are lots of apps which are available online already right now. Rosetta Stone is one of the platforms where you can learn. And in fact, so Rosetta Stone used to be expensive. Now, because of the various different things which are happening in the online platform, the pricing has started coming down. So utilize. So here's what I would do. Shravani, right? What's her name? Sorry.
Pavitra.
Pavitra. Here's what I would like you to do. Send us an email at sid@sidahmed.com. We will send you all the resources and links which are available, which you can utilize to get you onto a learning journey. Right?
All right.
Hope that helps.
Sid, I didn't know you would answer so fast, so I'm gonna go two more questions, Sid, and then we'll go
Sure.
in. Siva Sundar would like to know, how are you doing and how is the family during this pandemic?
Siva, what a beautiful question, Siva. Thank you so much. It was so intentional of you to ask that question, and I really love the question because you've been following this so closely. Um, Man, that's a tough question. All right, it has been one of the challenging times. I will talk to you about uh, how am I doing. I'm doing well. Family is doing, yes, family is doing well. Kids are fine. Um, we've been the first 2 months of the lockdown was very difficult times because the businesses, our customers, it had come grind to a grinding halt. Personally, we were just fine because we were leaving. It's under lockdown. We were staying home. All of our usual activities were cut down. Right, we couldn't go out. But in the US, you can go for runs and this and that, and all that is fine. But just the regular outings and things like that. So we started living in the means and in a restricted model. More importantly, around the business was it was very challenging times. The first 2 months, because of the businesses from our customers was coming down, we had to continuously think through our board meetings and various different, okay, if this happens, this is what we're going to do. If scenario based planning, if this is what is going to happen, this is what we're going to do. And how are we going to survive this? Because it was a frenzy situation, right? But getting external help and getting support, getting from our board members, those are the ones who really helped us think through the challenges. And that is exactly what I'm trying to reflect out of this, as well as we are there to help you. I'm there to help you. I'm there to provide what our board has done to us as an organization in terms of thinking through the problem and looking at the problem through a different lens. On the same note, I would also say my entire journey at BDOT, right? Think about it. I've never worked for a large business. Never, ever worked. I've always worked only for small businesses. Brilliance is a small company there. It's a franchise in Trichy. After that, I worked for a company. I worked for Aptech in Chennai. I worked for CI. I worked for Sistel. I worked for, then I started VDOT myself. Any of the companies, they were less than $2 million. I grew the last business from a $2 million to a $24 million before I exited. So I don't know what the processes are, how business is done, none of that. We start VDOT. Today, we are over a $200 million enterprise, close to about, what, 1,400 crore group. That's the kind of size in terms of revenues what we do, and we operate out of 9 countries. Do I have the experience? Does my degree allow me to have that kind of a portfolio or do anything? So every day is a pandemonium. Every day is a challenge. So it is very interesting journey what I'm riding through, and I'm just so excited. But best part is just surrounding people around me is what really excites me. So if you're saying how is pandemic doing, I'm loving it, and I'm trying to think very different things. And in fact, this webinar, right? What we brought in was as a result of pandemic. We thought differently and executed by my great set of interns who made it happen. So that's my thought. But thank you for asking that question, though.
All right, Sid, this is the last question, and it took me back when I read this question, Sid.
Okay. Oh.
Um, in your journey from going to Trichy to America, in your journey from going to becoming an engineer to becoming an entrepreneur, how did you face fear? How were you able to overcome fear?
Hmm. It's a very tough question to answer. How did I overcome? Yeah. Okay. Good.
And this
So I'll
comes
answer this
from
question.
Godwin Rajesh.
Godwin Rajesh. Godwin. Godwin.
Yes.
Godwin, I presume that you're an Anglo-Indian and probably you are from Trichy. I presume huge respect for the Anglo-Indian community, and I went to Campion Higher Secondary School, a great Anglo-Indian school, and that's the reason why I acquired all these skills. Thank you for everything what you do and the community does. Right. Let me just jump right into this question in terms of answering what. How did I overcome fears, or what my biggest fears were, and how did I overcome the fear? My biggest fear, say, let's talk in my professional life, the day I started my business. Okay, so when I've spent about back in 2007, 93 to 2007. I'm not good at math, so 30, okay, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Okay, 15 years. Okay, let's take that. Okay, so about 15 years, and I go ahead and start VDOT. And at the time when I'm starting VDOT, right, I've got a great job. I'm making a great salary. I've got great kids. I've got a house. I've got a car, and all of that. And I decide to start a business, right? So there is fear from the family. There's support from the family as well. And there is fear in me. What happens if I don't make it? So preparing for the fear of something which is going to happen. So what are the key questions what I had? If this business does not become successful, I've lost a great job where I'm making good money. My house is gone, cars are gone. Or um, so all I had to do was I had to hunker down, make sure that I had adequate. So preparing for the fear is the most important thing, right? So what I did was I made sure I had enough income, enough stashed up revenue or savings, which could help me drive through for a year living in an apartment in a conservative way, right? And we had to cut down on everything so that we can live within the means. And I did not take a paycheck, right? And the first day when I started the business, I was like thinking whether this is going to work, this is not going to work. The most important thing is saying the affirmation, sticking back to your dream. Okay, write your dream, write your affirmation, talk to yourself, talk to your subconscious mind that I am going to be successful. This is what I want to achieve, right? And if you do that, and if you do good journaling, writing it down, and you prepare for the worst, you should be able to overcome the fear. That's how I've been doing that, and I've given you a perfect example of what kind of fear I'd been going through as well.
Awesome, Sid. Well, ladies and gentlemen, this does
Are
bring
there
into its conclusion.
like
Sid, any closing remarks?
absolutely? So, do we have any more questions as well? Do we have more questions,
Hundreds.
or where are
Sid,
we at this
we
point
have
now?
hundreds of questions that we weren't able to get to.
Okay.
But as I've written in the chat, please register at sidahmed.com. And please send us your questions. We'll be more than happy to answer. If not, please reach out to Sid directly on his Instagram and send him a direct message with your question, and I'm sure he'll get back to you. Take a screenshot, if not a photo, of all these social handles. And I also received a lot of questions about, hey, Sid, when will we know about your next show? That will all be given to you from our social media handles and from our website.
So we will go ahead and I'll go ahead and do the closing. And I want to go ahead and show this quick video to you before we go ahead and do the closing. So stay tuned, watch this video, and then we'll be right back in. Okay. Thank you. Hang in there. It's coming up. Avi, you got the video? All right, it's right here.
Yep, just press play.
Are we ready?
Think you turned it off, Sid. Would you like me to just take over?
Yeah, if you can take it over, that's fine.
Yeah, no problem.
Awesome.
All right, Sid.
Thank you all. Awesome. Thank you, Avi. Thank you for playing that. To all the audience, thank you so much for your generosity. Thank you so much for carving out the time and investing in yourself to make a difference for your own lives. We really appreciate everything what you do. Follow us on our social channels. I look forward to meeting you again on the other side. Thank you and have a fantastic evening. All right. Bye.